All right, every season brings a new list of great books to read. And today, Elsie Souza from Bookstore One in downtown Sarasota is here with her fall reading picks. And Elsie, this is also a great time to start thinking of gifts for the holidays.
There you go, and happy fall to everyone. And the promise of good weather starting in the middle of the week, so we're very happy.
Yes.
All right.
It will happen. A sweater will happen.
Sweater weather.
But you're right. When it comes to, to the end of October, we have to start thinking of holidays, whether it's Hanukkah or Christmas, whatever. And so I chose books, a wide array, just to entice everybody, okay?
Okay.
So you can start thinking about it. So the first one is Origin by Dan Brown, who's very famous for the books he's done through the years, Angels and Demons and so forth. This one's set in Spain, and carries us through a great adventure that he does. So I would encourage someone to read Dan Brown. He's just really easy to read.
Yeah, Da Vinci Code
Yeah.
and everything, and it does it have that same mix of mystery
Exactly.
Get your brain moving.
There you go. There you go. The next one is Grant by Ron Chernow, and you might recognize Mr. Chernow's name because he's the gentleman who wrote Hamilton and the great, Broadway
That
show.
came out of that.
So maybe there'll be a Grant eventually. But anyway, Grant is a great story because he was not only a great general, but he had great ups and downs in his life and managed to come back again. He became a president, but then he went into like a bankruptcy failure. But then he wrote the greatest memoirs that have ever been done by a United States president, and Chernow really captures him.
Oh, really?
So life was not always kind to General Grant, but he came back. Jennifer Egan is one of America's finest authors, and she's come out with Manhattan Beach, which is actually a love story to New York. It's about a young woman. It's a kind of a mystery. She works at the Brooklyn Naval Yard during World War II, when many women were starting to evolve because obviously the men were off at war, and it's part mystery, so it's a great challenge. But she's a great writer, so I encourage Manhattan
That sounds good,
Beach.
yeah.
And so far, all of these could go to a wide range of people if they're buying gifts.
Absolutely. John Green is probably the greatest of what we have as current youth, teenage authors.
Oh, really?
And but believe me, you could read this and really love it. So his latest book is Turtles All the Way Down, and it's almost autobiographical because he has severe compulsive disorders, and this book is based on compulsive disorders.
Oh, really?
Okay.
How interesting.
Yes, so
So
it's
you
very
probably use his
fascinating.
experiences to tell the story. Wow.
Exactly.
Is it aimed at young adults?
It is
That's
indeed.
very interesting because you know that young adults are being diagnosed with different disorders a lot earlier now.
Exactly, and he is captured for all of them. He also wrote, one of his previous books was about young people having cancer and whatever, so he just deals with issues that we might not, but he knows how to, and he's beloved by the...
I read the one before and I loved it. I
Right.
didn't know it was for young adults.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. That's how good he is. That's how good he is. The other big biography of the year is Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson, who wrote the great book on Steve Jobs. If you read that, and if you didn't, just know that he is indeed another great author. And Leonardo da Vinci is known as probably the greatest artist, but also scientist that who we've ever had. Great illustrations in it. Great reading, so you'll learn a lot about Da Vinci and, about the times and how brilliant he was. And, he invented things. He thought about submarines, he thought about hot air balloons, airplanes, whatever. So, he was a man before his time.
Well, does the book take you a little further? Because I know we've had so many different stories about Da Vinci. So does the book give you a bit more of an insight into the time?
He really Isaacson really digs deep, and he really has done a great job of the times of Leonardo and about Leonardo himself.
So great, too, if somebody has just traveled to Europe or is about to go, to have this background and then be able to see some of his work. It gives you context.
And the other thing that's happening, too, related to Da Vinci, there's a major one of his masterpieces that's just been found like a couple of years. I think it might have been in private hands. It's going up for auction, and
we saw that. Yes.
Right.
Very
For how
timely.
much?
Probably over 100 million.
Yeah, more than we
I
can
know
afford.
that's my price range.
I'll read the book,
This next one here.
So I had to bring in a cookbook. I mean,
Yes.
whether you cook or not, you need a cookbook. And Sweet is by Yotam Ottolenghi, who is one of my favorite authors of cookbooks. He has many restaurants in London, and this one is called Sweet, and it's all about wonderful sweets. And he's from Israel, so he does a
Just
lot
wanna
of
turn
different.
it around so you can see some of the sweets that are on the back.
Yeah, it's
It
just
looks incredible.
It's
I'm
just
drooling over here
amazing.
looking at them.
Yeah, exactly. He does very different things. He uses a lot of pistachios and Middle Eastern kinds of flavors.
So not just like regular sugars, just find ways to
Yeah,
caramelize. Oh, okay.
exactly.
All right, and the
Exactly.
last book.
About singing?
Sing on, right. It's by Jasmine Ward, who's a great African-American author. And I say that because she epitomizes the best of what's going on in the genre. And this is about a family in Mississippi, and I highly recommend it. Between Jasmine Ward and Jennifer Egan, they represent the best of American authors in
Wow.
fiction
Really?
right now.
Oh,
We have
Yeah.
our Christmas list done.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Reading for everyone.
And you can say this represents the best of American.
Well, you guys can find these books and many more at Bookstore One in downtown Sarasota, or you can just go to their website, Sarasota Bookstore, books.com, and then you can actually get all this and many more. Next, one of our favorite topics, we're going to be celebrating our local food sources. We'll be right back.